Testing. Can you hear me? Ad break about to close out. Finally! Streamlabs, they have like a thing that warns me of the ad break, which is really cool and super helpful. And the ad break is done! That is so useful. I love that. I wasn't getting that before, and I really appreciate it because now I don't have to guess. Hopefully it stays like that forever. Okay. So, let me see. I actually replayed this last night on Steam because I have it on Steam. I didn't want to interfere with my oh my gosh, I sound so groggy. Take a sip. So you guys don't know, Thunder knows, anybody else who's here, that I actually, instead of streaming, did a little off-cam mining. Exactly. We did a, you know, a little something. It was genuinely really cute, but like, I wonder if I can, let me see if I can sort of put y'all on what you would have had to listen to, because like I've muted the audio so that I can open up and maybe you can hear what it sounded like. Let me see. What was yesterday, the 15th? Videos. This was like, I think the 14th that we did this. I'm opening it up now. I think you guys should be able to hear. Like, let me see. Can you hear that?
Now look at the one. It's just you hitting no. And then we never knew.
Yeah, I just hit no. Honestly, that's probably what it is. You hear that? Let me go back to OBS. Yeah, like there's like a nasty echo on the audio. I think that's my fault. I think I had both Discord audio and desktop audio on. So I think it was recording Thunder's voice twice. So there's just this like ominous echo every time he speaks. And I was like, I can't post that. Nobody wants to hear that. So I re-recorded it. I didn't post it up yet. I'll probably do that right. Oh wait, that's so sad. Wait, I just realized my Martin followed, but I don't have alerts on my stream starting screen. That's so sad because I've got my alerts set up and everything. But that's like a note for the future that I will make sure to do. Note to self. Anyways, so yes, here we are. For those of you who missed it and can't have even necessarily watched the VODs because I didn't post it yet, because I had to do a little bit of editing before it goes up. Basically, synopsis. Case 3, we're playing as Gregory Edgeworth, Miles Edgeworth's father. I was gonna say Gregory Edgeworth, Edgeworth's father. And this is his last complete case before he passed away. I say before he passed away. He was murdered. Before he was murdered. Yeah, there's this guy, Samson Tangaroa, now pronounced Tangaroa because, you know, Thunder, when I heard his name, I was like, oh, Tangaroa. I thought of tango because I was like, oh, at the beginning they were dancing. But when I looked it up, it's like tango, not just dancing, but a tango is like a 2-person dance. And, you know, he has his like 2-person act with Judy. So it's like a tango. Oh, also, I think Tangaroa is like some sort of god in some religion, you know, like a Hawaiian god or something. I should really look up exactly what god it is, but it's a god of the sea, which is like a reference to the fact that his room with all the chocolate is like nautical themed. And Samson was also like something from the Bible, and it's a reference as well. So, but nothing that I could get, obviously. But yeah, there was a competition, a confectionery competition, and it was found that there was a dead body in Samson's chocolate creation. So he was arrested, and now we're getting to the bottom of it. Bite any part of it, kid, and you'll be off this crime scene so fast your head will spin. Hey, it was just a joke. Stop staring at me like that. I do sometimes wish Eddie could keep his cool a little better. Also, how's the sound? It sounds a little bit loud to me. Do I sound okay compared to the sound? Maybe I have to lower my personal volume, and that's what the issue is. Bum, 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 bum. It's fine for you? Okay. I'll take that. Let me also... Sorry, I am gonna do this. This is just... Sorry, I'm adjusting a bunch of stuff. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Okay. It's fine for you. Okay, cool. One of the stands for the ship is broken. The ship must have collapsed onto the treasure chest and smashed it open. Wait, do you think? Could that be how the victim died? Fender just saying things, bro. He just talking, like, what are we saying? Death by chocolate chip. That's quite a way to go. I can't tell if that's a good or a bad way to go. Like, dying via chocolate? That sounds sweet. No pun intended, but like... That's goofy on the tombstone, you get me? Died by chocolate chip, like... Could that be how the victim died? Was he crushed by the ship? If he was, this becomes an accidental death and not a murder. Is this ship that heavy that it could kill a guy? You too serious? Don't worry, detective. For the moment, we're simply discussing a possibility. I was being serious, though. I don't even know what to say to that. Also, I wonder if I should, like, keep playing on the Switch, or if I should just switch over to Steam, because it probably will run better. Detective, can you tell us a little more about the state of the victim's body? Let me see. Got a picture here someplace. You can see for yourselves. Death was from blunt force trauma. And what about the weapon? Has it been found yet? You can ask the prosecutor in charge about that. He's not gonna get me. He ain't giving me shit, bruh. The prosecutor in charge? Von Karma? He's gonna tell me to go fuck myself, I swear. The detective's not one for sharing much, I see. At least I got the photo. Would you mind if we borrowed this? No skin off my nose. It's not like it's official. Bound took it with an instant camera when she found the body. Instant camera's crazy. An instant camera? Like, it's disposable or something? That's another word for an instant camera, a disposable camera. Wait, is it a disposable camera or is it like a Polaroid? No, it means that it develops the pictures right there and then when you take them. No way! Sounds pretty convenient. I'm screaming. Have you never heard of it? Now then, I'd better get my facts straight and take down some notes of my own. There's something in this picture that contradicts with the current crime scene. I'll need to call on my powers of deduction to figure out why. Can I see the photo? The victim's body was found in Samson Tangaroa's room inside a chocolate treasure chest. Cause of death appears to have been blood loss following blunt force trauma. There's a contradiction. There's like a little tarp in there too. Wait. Was there blood? When we... They didn't clean it up, did they? They said that they removed the body, but... I mean, I don't think that's the issue necessarily, but like... Was it removed? Art? What's going on here?
Eureka!
Oh, hit it with the Gregory Eureka. We all cheered. Oh, he's just like his... Ah! He's like his son! I'm gonna die. This is when I die. Eureka! Except he's like a little bit... Eureka! Instead of like, Eureka! Aw, that's so cute. You said the only thing that has been removed from the scene is the body. Yeah, that and the piece of cloth it was wrapped in. Then something here doesn't quite add up. It doesn't. Take another look at the scene in front of us, Detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should have been here is clearly missing. You're right. Don't remember anybody mentioning they'd removed the blood along with the body. Let me check with forensics. What is it, Mr. E? What did you figure out? Compare the treasure chest in the photograph to the real thing. In the picture, the solid chocolate bottom continues underneath the deceased's head. And yet, that part of the chest is now gone. The part with the blood all over it. Exactly. So did the police remove it? Or perhaps the killer? Why would you remove it? Not the body. It wasn't forensics. They're saying nobody took anything like that away. Interesting. So somebody deliberately removed the blood from the scene? Could be. Take a look at my logic. Sound of something breaking. Done. The stand broke, and the ship collapsed with it. And the loud sound it made brought Miss Bound running. Yeah. Said the ship had already keeled over by the time she got in here. Well, why did the stand collapse? What caused it to break? Maybe the whole thing was off balance from the get-go? Aha! I'm sorry! I don't know who you think you're talking about. Samson Tangaroa? Be serious. No. He's perfect. Yeah, put some respect on Samson's name real quick for me. Crazy. Could that really have been the case? Why did the chocolate stand... Wait, Tanjiro's creations have been tampered with. All of Mr. Tangaroa's creations are missing a little piece each, including one of the stands that was holding up the ship. Somebody really went all out. Do you think it could have been the killer? It's certainly a possibility. Either way, I think we can safely say the stand was damaged in our mystery person's tampering spree. And when it broke, the ship fell and smashed open the treasure chest, which would have remained closed otherwise. That body would have been stewing up in the chocolate. That's so gross. I still haven't gotten any chocolate thunder, bro. Like, I'm looking at all this chocolate. Here's the tea. There's some very tasteful tableware here, along with some kitchen utensils. Like, I'm hungry. All this chocolate. Do you think that boat is heavy enough to kill a guy? Give in to the urge. After this, I'm going out and getting myself a Reese's cup. I gotta do it. Maybe it's no Samson Tangaroa, like, but it'll do. This tea set is of the same design as the one Miss Bound served us earlier. You think Samson could have been drinking tea out of that? The pot and cup were dusted for prints. His were the only ones they found. And was that the case for the utensils too? No way it's that heavy, right? I'm like... I mean, I can see it, but like heavy enough to kill a guy? Plus, is it hollow? Is it literally like... I mean, I think it's possible if maybe it's like dense chocolate. Like, I would assume it's hollow, right? Like, why are we making like a whole ship of chocolate that's just chocolate all the way through? Yeah, it's on the Choco Waves. The frothy Choco Waves. But I'm like, I think if this was like above somebody... listen, let me be clear. I don't think it killed anybody. But I was just, like, curious. Like, because he's like, maybe it killed somebody. And I'm like, no way it's that heavy, right? Like, that's crazy. I'm crying. You linking me to me? You're I'm like, what is happening? Oh, this link. Let me go ahead and lock into twitch.tv/SasuInUrPants. Let me go ahead and join this stream. Everything else had been washed, so there weren't any prints to find. And if Mr. Tangaroa was wearing gloves when he was working on his confectionaries, that could explain why prints were only found on the teapot and cup. A Paul Halick piece with Tangaroa's fingerprints on it. We're done. I think we're about done here for now. Well, if I wasn't convinced before, I am now. Tangaroa did it. No two ways about it. What do you mean? All the rooms in this place, locked from the inside. That's so sus. I guess if you're like, I don't want someone coming in, but like, rooms, it's so funny because when you're watching media, you see people be locked inside of rooms all the time, when in actuality, in real life, rooms like never lock from the inside. Oh, all these rooms in this place lock from the inside. Locking from the inside is normal. Locking from the outside is not. So when you see people get locked into rooms, like, that makes absolutely no sense. Like, why do you have a door that locks from the outside? Like, that's weird. But no, this is normal. Rooms that lock from the inside. My bad. Haha, bad. The only way to unlock them from the outside is with this key. I see. And who had access to that key? Samon. Samson. I mean, of course it's Samson. It's his house, bro. Who do you think? Tangaroa. And it's the only one. There aren't any copies. With the mansion key, Tangaroa could slip into anybody else's room anytime he liked. And he could even lock his own room from the outside if he wanted. But Mr. Tangaroa's room wasn't locked, was it? Nope. Which is exactly what makes him a suspect. Would you care to explain your thinking? Oh, are we getting into a testimony? Yes. Lock in. If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangaroa wouldn't be the obvious suspect. Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room. And why he smashed in the lid of the treasure chest, so the body was on full display. Everyone was supposed to gather in this room when the judging finished up. So he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. The one thing he didn't plan on was Bound finding the body. Anyway, that's my thinking on this whole thing. Good enough for you, Mr. Attorney? Do you also believe it was Mr. Tangaroa who damaged the other pieces in this room? Yup. I know you have to believe your client. That's your job. But I'm a detective, and I serve the law. No matter how squeaky clean somebody might seem, a suspect is still a suspect. I fully understand your reasoning, detective. Now, would you mind if I applied a little critical thinking of my own? Look at it. I think he's so cool. Like, do your worst. Just as the detective won't compromise his devotion to the law, I won't compromise my beliefs either. Though he looks kind of shady like this. That's the funny thing. This trench coat, like, hat combo. I mean, he looks like a classic man, you know, from, like, the 20s. But I feel like in modern times, he looks like shady. Like, sir? And I'm not about to just accept his version of events, in fact. I'm going to show him the piece of evidence that highlights the contradiction in his claims. Victim's body was found in Samson Tangaroa's room inside a chocolate treasure chest. The lid was closed until the ship collapsed. Part of the treasure chest that was covered in blood is missing. Every other item in the room also missing a piece. The cause of death appears to have been blood loss following blunt force trauma. Okay. What's the piece of evidence that highlights the contradiction in his claims? That he was like, he messed up his own stuff. Alright. If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect. Well, yes. Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his own room. That's wild.
Hold it!
Hold it! Oh, these voice lines. And why would he deliberately not lock his door? Because if he locked it, he might as well have held up a sign saying he did it since he had the only key. But maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe he just left it unlocked without meaning to. He just happened to leave it unlocked, and somebody just happened to find a body inside. Come on, kid. We'll never make detective thinking like that. He's not trying to be a detective. But I don't want to be a detective. I want to be an attorney. I'd be grateful if you stopped trying to steal my apprentice. Look, there's a reason why Tangaroa left his door unlocked. And why he smashed in the lid of the treasure chest, so the body was on full display. Smashed it, but... Is this the issue? He thinks he personally smashed it in?
Hold it!
You're saying Mr. Tangaroa himself deliberately smashed the treasure chest open? Yup. If he hadn't, the body would have never been found. I struggle to see how he managed to destroy his creation while judging the contest at the same time. Exactly! And besides, there's no way he would have disrespected his sweets. He eats every last crumb on Bacon Bop while dancing. That's the only way his stuff gets destroyed. This isn't about what happens on TV, kid. You know about Bacon Bop, Detective? He's like, even I didn't know about Bacon Bop. Am I the... And he has a glare just like his son. Am I the only one who isn't familiar with this show? Wow, I never would have guessed. Can he sing the theme song too? He's not the singing type, I'd argue. Never mind that now. Focus. The point is, Tangaroa was responsible for breaking that lid. That's code for yes, he can. Just not right now. Everyone was supposed to gather in that room when the judging finished up.
Hold it!
The judging began in Mr. Gusto's room, correct? That's the other thing. Maybe it is Gusto. But I'm like, it's probably Gusto, like he has a lot of gusto. And also I thought he works with air and sugar, so maybe it's like gust like air. The judging began in Mr. Gusto's room, correct? Yeah. Kinda wanted to check his hard candy stuff out myself. In that case, how about a demonstration? Oh, ad break starting soon. Whoa. Wait. This reminds me of, like, you know, when you were younger and, like, you, like, point at something, like, ugly and you're like, that's you. So, like, a friend. That's what this is giving. Like, well, it's you, detective. Like, you, like, made this little doggy. That's you. Are you calling him a dirty dog? I never would have thought that. It's a wolf! Him emphasizing it. He made it her. It's a wolf. I mean, that's not crazy. Huh. A lone wolf? I like it. Me too, Gregory. I'm starting to enjoy these little displays. Anyhow. So he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there.
Hold it!
Do you have a clear idea of when exactly the murder took place? Not yet. Autopsy report's still pending. And yet you still went ahead and arrested Mr. Tangaroa? We may not know when the murder happened, but we know when the body was discovered. It was while Tangaroa was judging Gusto's room. A perfect alibi if he could set it up just right. If he could set it up just right. But still not grounds for an arrest. Surely you have to agree with that. Do I? Especially when I've got nothing more to say to you. Why do I get the feeling he's hiding something? Detective Bad seems pretty convinced that Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit. But there's no way he would have vandalized his own creations. No way! Still, the treasure chest did get smashed in. There's no denying that. Perhaps we should focus more on what led to the body's discovery. That's my thing. I'm saying, is he saying he, like, manually smashed it and it wasn't, like, the boat?
Objection!
We've established that the body was hidden inside the chest, and that Miss Bound only came running into this room when she heard a sound. It seems reasonable to infer that the sound was that of the chocolate boat collapsing. Sure, seems likely, based on the evidence. And yet you assert that it was Mr. Tangaroa who had smashed the lid on the chest. I believe this photo makes it clear that it was the ship that did the smashing. And if that had occurred only moments before Miss Bound had entered the room, then it couldn't have been broken by Mr. Tangaroa, who was out judging the contest at the time. I never said he did it then and there. He could have done something to the stand, so it collapsed when he was in the middle of judging.
Objection!
Have you any way of proving that assertion? Nope. But the investigation isn't over yet. There's still time. So he doesn't have anything conclusive. Have you found any prints in this room besides those of Mr. Tangaroa? Yep. On the door. But we found Tangaroa and Frost prints on there too. We were all brought here for a briefing, right before we started to work on our creations. Those prints are probably from then. I take it you haven't checked any of Mr. Tangaroa's works for prints yet? Why would... We know that somebody tampered with them. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I thought that they already checked them for prints. Plus chocolate. Chocolate of all things holds onto prints very easily. And y'all didn't dust that for prints? That's kind of crazy. I just assumed that they did. What do you mean, why would... Therefore, it's possible they left some prints behind when they did so. Fine. If we don't find anything, your guy's still top of my list. Got it? You, check all this chocolate stuff for prints. Now. Yes, sir, right away. Detective Bad! We finished dusting the chocolate and we found prints that don't belong to Mr. Tangaroa, sir. Go on. Whose? Delicia Scone, sir. She's one of the contestants. Good work. You can go back to whatever you were investigating before. Yes, sir. Oh, I forgot we're on an ad break. My bad to all the people. Hey, Inky! Plot armor or something, I don't know. Wow, you're so paddle rich. You got ad braked. Yeah, literally. I think there's like 2 minutes. As you said, I'm crying. Yeah, oh, this 2-minute ad break. I can't believe, are we? I don't know. How long has it been? Oh, I know why. The ad break has felt kind of frequent. I think I set it to have an ad break something like a minute or two after I go live. So because I know I'm always setting up, so I'm like, that's the best place to like get rid of an ad. And then I have 3-minute ads every 30 minutes. So I don't want people to be left behind. You know, there's about 2 minutes left in the ad, but so it seems we have a suspect besides Mr. Tangaroa. Very true. This suspicious figure. I actually so fun fact about this. I think I told you, Thunder. Bald. What was it? So, back in the day when I was in high school, I was in this, I was on DeviantArt, right? And on DeviantArt, they had these things called icon families. And basically what that was is there'd be like a person who made a bunch of icons, usually from some sort of series. And everybody, like, there was like a huge mass of people who had matching icons. And it was kind of like being, I don't know, gang is not the right word, but you were in this group and you had matching icons with a bunch of people that were done by the same artist. And I was in an Ace Attorney icon family, and my icon, I really wanted to have Yumihiko, but I mean Eustace, but I had, at the time, obviously there was no English. Basically, her name was Delish Scone, but Delicia, I guess, Scone. So, I mean, obviously I know what she looks like, but to this day, because I set it as my icon for like Skype and stuff like that, which was bought by Microsoft, I have several things on my computer that still have the Delish Scone icon from when I was in the icon family. So she was actually my character. So I know her all too well. Welcome back, Inky, from your ad break. So it seems we have a suspect besides Mr. Tangaroa. I wanted to use this so bad, bro. But I had to, it was like her and like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 other characters that were left. So I just picked her even though I'd never played the game, because I was like, whatever. I'll take it. But it was like cute, so I have a bit of a soft spot for Delicia Scone, I guess is how it is here. Delicia? Even without your lawyerly input, I wasn't about to wrap up the investigation anyway. I'll go speak to Miss Scone and see what she has to say for herself. Delicious Scone. Yeah, I guess, okay, it's literally derishi scone in Japanese, so Delicia, I guess. Delicious Scone. Mr. Gusto mentioned her too. He said that she was ruthless, that she'd do anything to win. This Scone lady sounds like a pretty suspicious character, huh, Mr. E? Yes, I think we'd better try to speak with her ourselves as well. Detective Bad, would you mind if we accompanied you? I think he would mind. Babysitting you was not my job. Aw, come on! But I guess you did pick up a couple of useful clues already. If you want to tag along, be my guest. Thank you, Detective. You are too kind. I love Gregory. Let's go. But Detective Bad, sir. I don't think that's such a good idea. The lead prosecutor is still busy in there. Oh my god. It'll be fine. Me and him don't exactly see eye to eye anyhow. Who is this him? Who did they assign the case to? Manfred von Karma. There you have it. What? They gave it to von Karma? He hasn't lost a case in 25 years. Mind you, when we meet him, he hasn't lost a case in 40. Manfred von Karma, a living legend over at the prosecutor's office. We've never faced one another in the courtroom, but I've heard plenty of stories. Really? You went up against him twice? Wow. They say he'll do anything to ensure a guilty verdict, including forging evidence, mind you. But I can't let that distract me. For now, I need only continue to do what I believe is right. I love you, Gregory Edgeworth. Oh, this to be continued that we're blazing right past. That means, Thunder, we should have just gotten to the first to be continued, really, at that point. Oh, I guess we couldn't have, because you had to VOD review, but still. We were right there. Unfort. That's okay. We ball. It is literally like 5 hours until Christmas. My son is at home. Whoa, a candy castle. And look, there are even some little elves to go with it. Wait, that's so rude. Oh no, the elves are in the back. Now I can see them. You have a son. No. Gregory Edgeworth does. Your son's at home, bro. And we're out on a case on who's pretending to be Santa. Maybe he's the kind of pragmatic dad that doesn't pretend that there is a Santa. He's like, I'm not teaching my son that. And even if he did tell Edgeworth that there was a Santa, I'm sure as soon as Manfred von Karma like adopted him, he immediately like was like, Santa's not real. I do not have a son. I feel like me being me acting as jobless as I do with a child would be crazy. I'm like, wait, like, you know how you rarely see Popgun commentating? Because, like, he has a child. I feel like the same is true of Falco Flyer. Like, why am I on the mic so often when I've got a kid? Rooms laid out pretty much the same as Tangaroa's. Not as cold, though. That's something. I thought she specialized in cream. Let's see. Yeah, looks like there's a temperature control panel in here, too. Over there where that orange light is, right? We better take a closer look when we can. It's like a fairy tale storybook in here. And this whipped cream covered construction must be the work of Miss Delicious Scone. Where is Miss Scone? What are we doing here? I'm so interested. Me? Why, I'm just over here, dearie. Or maybe she has like an old woman voice. Oh, just look at you, lovely boys. Delicious Scone at your service. Some cheeky blighters back in the blighty even call me Miss Delicious Tea. Cheeky blighters, what are we, English? Some cheeky blighters back in the blighty even call me Miss Delicious, hee hee. Like that. She's not bald? No, she's got hair. Crazy, right? She's like, Sasu's a parent. Not anymore! What happened to the kid? Would that be surprising if I had a child? Does I not seem like the child having... I feel like most people around my age have children. I just don't. Not anymore is so wild. Called a lovely boy at 34! See? I mean, I'm not 34. But he looks older than 34. With love and respect, Gregory. You look way older than 34, at least to me. You look like you're in your 40s, maybe. Which means that Edgeworth is really... I think Edgeworth around now is like maybe 9, 10 years old. I hope she got a bakery back there. Yes, actually, it would be surprising if I had a child. Thunder, why'd you say that? Why'd you say that? Called a lovely boy at 34, unexpected to say the least. That means he probably had Edgeworth at around 24 or so, 24, 25, which is when a lot of people have children, so makes sense. I just be typing stuff for real. You're like the Eddie Fender. of typing. Lovely boys? Really? Even Mr. E? Oh, yes, dear. What is up with it? You, the detective over there? You're all lovely boys to me. I'm nobody's lovely boy, lady. Name's Bad. I wonder just how old she is. That's why I was like, do I give her an old lady voice? Finish this up so we can get out of here, Mr. Attorney. Yes, all right. Manfred von Karma's here? What is the meaning of this chit-chatting with the defense? Will it just have a... Yes, it will. Age? Question mark. Confectioner of indeterminate age. Back home in the UK, they call her Miss Delicious. That was a very scary objection. Von Karma's a very scary man. I feel like that's what Bad's voice sounds like it would sound like. It's like a really deep objection. Objection! Like, it's crazy. What is the meaning of this chit-chatting with the defense? Mr. Edgeworth, some scary guy just stepped out of the castle. Von Karma. Wait, this is upsetting. This is Edgeworth's theme. Why is Edgeworth's theme playing for Von Karma, bro? What? He's Manfred von Karma? Sorry, mannequins. The notorious prosecutor von Karma himself. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law. Since I couldn't care less what your name is. Your job is to lose to me and disappear, never to show your sniveling face again. What a thoroughly rude individual. You see the Yes. Those piercing eyes, that furrowed brow. Ugh, you're even scarier than they say. Edgeworth has inherited a lot from Von Karma, I fear. And you might want to keep such rude thoughts to yourself, Eddie. We were hoping you might permit us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. Von Karma. And why would I wish to extend any such courtesy? This clearly isn't going to be easy. So long as your inquiries are limited to this room, I suppose I'll allow it. Why the sudden change of heart? You! The tall fellow. Name's Bad. Is that so hard to remember? I didn't ask for your opinion. The thoughts of a lowly detective do not concern me. But I do admire your spirit. Bad. See to it that these worms don't step out of line. Why do I have to? I am not offering you a choice, detective. I need to go and look over Gusto's room. Good day. Great. More babysitting. Why aren't Detective Bad and Mr. Von Karma investigating together? They don't seem to know each other well enough for there to be bad blood between them. Well, looks like we have permissions to investigate. Guess we better get to it. Indeed. I'm not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motives, but at least we can do that much. Hold up. I haven't been over this room yet either. You're not messing it up before I get my chance. You have to wait till I'm done. Huh? But I thought you were the lead detective. How come you didn't take a look at this room yet? Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me. Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not long before you did. That answers my question as to why they're working separately, I suppose. What say we look over the room together, Detective? I've worked out well enough before. It worked out well enough before, my bad. I have something in my eye, like my right eye's just watering. Then you won't have to worry about us messing things up. You can keep an eye on us as we go. What kind of screwball attorney asked to have a detective breathing down his neck? One that's trustworthy? Guess I'm stuck with you for a little while longer. Yes! You're amazing, Mr. E! You have our thanks, Detective Bad. Don't be too grateful. This is my scene. The second you get in my way, you're out of here. Of course, we understand. Now, shall we begin? Begin investigation. Let's talk to this lady. Delicia. What's the matter, Miss Scone? You seem a whole lot less cheerful than you were a minute ago. Is it Mr. Von Karma? Did something happen between you two? Why, yes! Nothing happened at all! But you just said yes. That was a hello, you silly boy! Aren't you just the sweetest little sugar dumpling? Remind me, what was your name again? Eddie. Eddie Lumpkin? Oh, you'll go far, dearie, I can tell. Eddie Lumpkin? It seems our English gentlewoman has taken a liking to you, Eddie. No small accomplishment. She's not exactly what I picture when I think of a gentlewoman, Mr. E. Rude. Never mind that now. We could ask her a few questions while we can. And what are we gonna do? We're going to present that. Go ahead and present our badge. Yes, dear? What's this when it's at home? It's a badge that proves I'm a qualified attorney. Gosh, well done you! Shall I show you something lovely in return? See this big pink hat I'm wearing? It proves I'm a qualified pastry chef. Is that so? I thought you could buy those in stores. Oh, you can! Oh, you can? Anyway, what? What is she saying? She's so confusing, this woman. Oh, you can? Anyway, it's not the hat that matters. It's that Ed underneath. So then, anyone can call themselves a pastry chef? Could you tell us about what you did over the course of the contest? Yes, dearie. Let's see. It all started about 10 in the morning. That's when we all set to work. And, well, I spent most of the time in here in my room getting everything ready, as you'd expect. Oh, and there was a lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so from around 1, I think? Afternoon tea? It's an English tradition. A chance to drink tea, enjoy a snack, and make small talk. So kind of like recess? How old are you? Genuinely, how old are you? I suppose you could say that. I'm crying. Oh, you really know your onions, don't you, Greggy Pegleg? Such a clever boy. When did I become Greggy? And where was this afternoon tea served? Out in the garden, of course. There's a lovely little one just outside. They do it at the same hour every break time during the contest. Lay on a little nice spread, you know? A little nice spread, you know? But today, only me, Samson, Sillypants, and Moody Judy were there for it. Sammy Poople had already finished his great creation, so he was there the whole time. But poor old Chillywinks and Gusty Pants had to miss out because they hadn't finished yet, bless them. You're saying that everybody except Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto was present? That's right, dear. To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I wasn't about to miss out on tea and cake served by our 2 TV superstars. I went right back to work when I'd finished, though. Toddled off while the others were still nattering away. Ooh. This plus leaky right eye. This is a tough one, chat. And at any point during the contest, did you visit any of the other competitors' rooms? You're not supposed to. Oh! What? No, dear, don't be silly! That's strange, because their fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Caught red-handed! Wait, so you admit you were there? Oh, well, I can hardly deny it now, can I? But I didn't kill anybody, I swear! I suppose I'd better tell you what really happened. Just promise you'll believe me, won't you, dear? What exactly were you doing in Mr. Tangaroa's room? Well, I suppose you'd call it research. Research? Or rather, research? He's like down the octave. I feel like he's got a gravelly voice. Research. Sammy Poople's a dab hand when it comes to the old sweet making. Everybody knows that. So when I noticed there was no one in there, I just popped in for a quick bit of research, like I say. What kind of research leaves fingerprints? Yes, well, it stands to reason I'd leave fingerprints, doesn't it? After all, it's oddly research if you don't have a little nibble in it. What? You ate little pieces of them? So, the traces of tampering in Mr. Tangaroa's room. That was all you? I'm ever so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make a mess. I just had to have a little bite here and there, didn't I? I didn't want poor Sammy Poople getting upset, so it was just the teeniest bits and pieces. And the stand holding up the ship? You took a bite out of that too, I suppose. Of all things to take a bite out of. The thing that's structurally holding up a large fixture? That's what you took a piece of? Girl. Strategy. Come on, bro. Oh, yes, dear. Of course I did. It was you. You brought the whole thing crashing down. I'm so sorry, my lovey. I truly am. Hold on. Is that why you left the afternoon tea early? You were heading off for a second helping of sweets? No, just please believe me. I never killed anybody, I promise. Her actions were certainly suspicious, but that's about all we can say for now. Wild. What's so crazy is, like, I'm sure you guys could have eaten them afterwards, right? Just wait, bro. What? But these are like tools. These are not confectionery tools. Dear fraud. And there's building stuff inside. Wait, chat. Buckets filled with cream, trowels, and a brush. Oh. I thought, my bad. Is she a patissiere or a plasterer? Yeah, these are like tools for like construction. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. you go making jokes at my expense, you cheeky young devil. I don't just slap stuff on walls like a silly old plasterer. I have to spread the cream out lovely and smooth, then work out the rough patches. That's literally exactly what a plasterer does. So she's the one who has the tarps. That's the tarp that we found. It's an incredible piece of work. Hard to believe this whole castle is made out of sugar and cream. I know, right? It's like we're inside a magical medieval story or something. I didn't know you were into such fantastical things. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get so carried away there. Oh, no need to apologize. I admire your enthusiasm. I sometimes wish my own son was as animated as you. Ha ha! He's serious business, that kid. Oh, I wish my son could be more like you, Fender. Oh, how the turns have tabled. Now Fender's so chill, bro. Too chill. You have a son, Mr. E? Entire chat at me. All of chat. You know what? I'd make a good parent. I bet. Maybe. I do. He's still in elementary school. And yet he'd rather read a statute book than a fairy tale. You gotta start him young. Your son's a bit too serious. I can't help but worry his interests will make it hard for him to make friends. Oh, this is just so sweet. This right here. And I think it was kind of hard for him to make friends. He just so happened to make friends with Phoenix and Larry. I think due to his strong sense of justice he got from his father. Don't say that. He sounds super interesting. He'll make a ton of friends. Me included, I'm sure. Or he'll make a ton of friends. Me included, I'm sure. Oh my gosh. I like to think you'd be more of a big brother to him than a friend, Eddie. Yeah, you're like 18 and he's like 10. I don't know if you want to be friends with a 10-year-old. A big brother, huh? Guess I have some growing up to do. Better take this more seriously. Indeed. And with that in mind, shall we continue our investigation? The doors of the castle have been left wide open. Yeah. Was the guy born in a barn? He could have at least closed them behind him. I'd like to see you say that to Mr. Von Karma's face, Eddie. Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see. Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me. Cream's going all runny. The whipped cream is melting and will lose its shape at the slightest touch. Yeah, why? Is it not the proper temperature in here? It's all over the detective's shoes. Why are all these items being stored inside a candy castle? Alright, tell me what you want me to look at first. There's a bunch of blue cloth back here. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls altogether. Well, they certainly aren't made of candy. No idea what this stuff is for. Almost looks like somebody hid it in here. But I think I've seen fabric of the same color somewhere else before. Yep. 2 big rock crystals? Looks like somebody was using the castle for storage. Kinda expected something a little more exciting behind these doors. Oh, I know! Maybe there's a giant uncut gemstones. Maybe they're giant uncut gemstones. Maybe this whole thing is based on a story about a castle with a priceless treasure hidden inside. I think I'd treat my priceless treasures with a little more care. There's something on the bottom of them. Looks like a little stand or something. For some reason, there are stands mounted to the bottom of the rock crystals we found inside the candy castle. Well, they go on these front parts, right? Like they're hexagons. Looks like they go on the front. I was right! They are gemstones! The stands must be so they can be put on display. Ooh. Well, whatever they are, it seems that they're not just a large set of paperweights. I feel like they go here. Huh. These pillars. They have hexagonal indentations. Looks like something's supposed to go in there. Well, whatever they were. They're long gone. Hexagonal indentations, huh? I wonder. Castle's covered in whipped cream, so maybe a giant strawberry? A giant strawberry? A giant strawberry with a hexagonal bottom? Look, I like strawberries, okay? Can't blame a guy for wishing. I prefer bananas myself. You seem the banana type, Fender. Blueberries for me. Okay. The time when you say Fender, I think you're saying thunder. Eddie. An ad break is incoming, just so y'all know. The rock crystal stands and the pillars in front of the castle feature the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars. Oh yeah, hexagon to hexagon makes perfect sense. But if that's the case, then why are they being hidden inside the castle? The rolls of blue cloth and the rock crystals inside the castle. I imagine both must belong to Miss Scone. Miss Scone. What were you using, or, you know the English, they say scone, crazy? What were you using the items inside the castle for? Oh, those? Sorry, Lambkin, but I'm not allowed to say. Let me guess. Von Karma. Hey, how did you know? Please don't tell him to. Please don't ask me to tell you. He'll have my guts for gutters. It seems the prosecution really has no intention of sharing anything with the defense. Man, thought we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but... What, dearie? You're interested in my little trinkets? Your trinkets? Yes, my sweet. I use them to make people all lovely and relaxed. You use rock crystals and cloth to do that? I do. It's wonderful. You should see it. And they're not just any old rock crystals either. They're great big lumps of salt with lights in them. Lights inside them. Salt? Those things are lamps? Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. Maybe she was told to take them off. Because, like, they're salt? What do you mean they're salt? This is a confectionery competition, so maybe she had to remove them. Because she got in trouble. Hey, that's not even the half of it! Those cloths hold an even more exciting secret. She really opened up the moment we started talking about her trinkets. Since you're here, why don't I give you lovely boys a taste of my relaxation magic? You Betty Bumpkin, can't you get it all out and set it up for me? The name is bad. Is that a no? Why are you being so selfish, Betty Bumpkin? You! Have you finished taking photos of this room yet? Yes, sir! We have, sir! Then help Miss Scone here. Then help Miss Scone here with something. Will you? Yes, sir! Right away, sir! You're a sweetie at heart, aren't you, Vanity? That's amazing, Miss Scone. You got him to do exactly what you wanted. That's some talent. That's some talent. Thank you ever so much, Battykins. And you, Officer Lovely. He's even giving nicknames to the forensics guys now. I guess it's her way of showing that she cares. So, what about this is supposed to be relaxing exactly? Oh, don't be a big sourpuss, Batty. The fun's only just beginning. Officer Lovely, you can switch it on now. Yes, ma'am. Huh. Wow, it's beautiful. It is. I wish my son was here to see it. I'm crying. Well, it's Christmas Eve, you know. Isn't it though? Isn't it just wonderful? The 4 adorable elves in the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my theme, you see. And I thought it would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you've ever seen? One of the elves must be feeling a little left out. Ah! There's a missing tarp, and it's the one that's covering the body. This is how it's supposed to look for the contest. But I'm glad you lovely boys got to see it at least. Wait. Shouldn't the lamps be lit up too? Oh, what's happened here, I wonder? I think we'd better take a look. I think we'd better take a look at the lamps and the elves just one more time. No. There's a small door on the wall here, just like in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Here, I'll open it. Boom. Temperature 68 degrees. Light set to green. 68 degrees. It's pretty high. I feel like it'd have to be colder. Whipped cream, right? There's whipped cream everywhere. Isn't that pretty high? Light set to green. Didn't Gusto say cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees? Temperature in here is too high. Exactly, Bad. Bad is a kind of a patissier himself. High temperature. The temperature of Scone's room isn't suitable for whipped cream. Did somebody adjust it? That is odd. I wonder why. It's a cute little elf made of candy, and it's sitting on a little tree stump. The fabric above it and the other decorations around it really add to the dreamlike atmosphere. I don't know that you're allowed to have them, though. Stare at it for too long and we might get swept up in the fantasy ourselves. Yeah, well, our job is to stay here in reality and get to the bottom of all this. Nobody's getting swept up in any flights of fancy on my watch. Okay, my bad. There's a blowtorch and some chemicals here. I guess it's all for cooking with. I wonder what these chemicals are. Let's take a look at the labels. Mango Down 911? Homicide 24/7? Wait, they're all Poisons? No, sir, they're common colorings and flavorings used in candies and desserts. The first is concentrated mango boiled down to its purest essence, hence mango down. They're asking for trouble with a name like that. Now I'm curious as to what homicyanide might be. Same. We're jogging. Ah, the thick, sweet scent of delicious whipped cream is in the air. Interesting though, seeing as though the whipped cream is kind of low-key melting, is it like gross? Does it smell like it's curdling? It's like a fairy tale, but in real life. And yet, there he was, standing in the middle of it all with an evil look on his face. This whole experience is wasted on the scary old creep. Come now, Eddie. You can't call people names like that. It's rude. So sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll try to be more careful. You see, Gregory Edgeworth is PR trained. You can't just be saying anything in front of anybody, am I right? Watch what you say in front of others. It's just... It's just, he reminds me of this teacher I once had who was always super angry with me. A stern school teacher, huh? Now that he mentions it, Mr. Von Karma does have the look of one. But I shudder to think what it would be like for Miles to study under him. Are they trying to ruin my life with things like this? I shudder to think what it would be like for Miles to study under him. Well, you'll never have to see it with your own eyes, Edgeworth. Gregory Edgeworth, that is. This elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others. It's not fair to leave the poor guy out, Miss Scone. Well, I didn't want to, did I, dear? But one of my cloths and one of my little machines went missing. Machines? Oh, the thing that lights it up? A cloth? And what sort of machine exactly? Oh, you'll never guess how it all works. Those luminous cloths are connected to this little thingamajigs. They're called, full spectrum light emitting devices. They send light down the main cable and into each optical fiber strand. That's what makes the cloth glow. Okay. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any color of the whole wide world. Bright red like ferocious fiery flames. Cold blue like a clinking crystals of ice. They all have the special batteries in it for last donkeys. For donkeys' years? What? What is she's just saying words, bro? They have all these special batteries that last for donkeys' years. And they don't mind the cold at all. Does that just mean a lot? For donkeys' years? Forgive me. So these machines, they're what make the special luminous cloth light up in all these beautiful colors, Mr. E. I see. So much new technology. I can barely keep up. So these light-emitting devices. You lost one of them in a piece of luminous cloth? That's right, Lambkin. Heaven only knows where they could have gone to. Have y'all ever been to a Paris Baguette? This makes me want to go to Paris Baguette. Like, all the talk of, like, cream and stuff. They have such nice pastries there. I'm like, maybe I'll, like, walk to downtown. Wait, is it rainy outside? It looks pretty gloomy. I don't know. I have to get chocolate. I have to get a pastry from Paris Baguette. Like, I got a lot to do. Oh, oops. I wonder if there's anything I can listen to now. Oh, so you've got quite the eye, haven't you, dearie? You'd be amazed how it all works. Actually, never mind. Can't go giving away my secrets now, can I? Well, that was strange. What just happened? Did Mr. Von Karma bully her into staying silent about what she knows? Oh my gosh.
Eureka!
No. I mean, what do you mean it's at the what? There's blood on it. What are we? They're acting like I'm crazy. The lamps appear to be broken. Bulbs are smashed. Both of them. Maybe they fell? Maybe they fell and broke on the floor? There's a red stain on the one to the left. That's not just a stain. That's... Yep, it's blood all right. I can smell it. What? Blood? Why is there blood on this lamp? Could it have something to do with why its bulb is broken? We'd better take a closer look at the other one, too. So let me get this out of the way real quick. Not a murder weapon just sitting there, bro. We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt. Maybe it was Von Karma. Blunt. And we found blood on one of the lamps, which has a smashed bulb inside. Could the lamp not have been the murder weapon? For sure. It could definitely do enough damage to kill someone. You, science guy, did you finish analyzing the blood from the lamp yet? Yes, sir. Just got done a minute ago, sir. The blood is the victim's, no doubt about it. There you have it. Thank you. So the murder weapon was hidden in Miss Scone's room. I'm beginning to think we may need to add her to our list of suspects. Beginning? We're just starting to think? The whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high. It's 68 degrees. My messed up shoes can vouch for that. Yeah, what do you mean you fucked up my shoes with your melting cream, bro? That's irritating. Can you imagine? You're gonna have to really wash those shoes because there's dairy in that cream. So it's gonna start curdling. So you have to, that's annoying. And yet, when you open the doors to the castle, the handles themselves were just fine. Yeah, they were sturdier than expected. Sturdy? That's not the way I would describe most things made out of confectionaries. I think we'd better take a look at those handles, don't you? What the? I think it's safe to say those handles aren't made of candy. Not just the handles, the whole castle, the little elves. They're all just plastic models with whipped cream smeared on top. What? So none of this is confectionery art after all? No, it's simply made to look like candy with the cream having been added to lend it all an air of authenticity. Ooh, added to lend it all an air of authenticity. Scone's confections were all fakes. What is she up to? Shoes are already covered in cream. I wouldn't go any closer unless you want the same thing to happen to you. We've seen what's behind those doors. There's really no need to look again. The doors look nicely decorated now thanks to the beautiful cloth around it. A cloth which we found inside the castle. A welcoming doorway makes a welcoming home. That's just common sense for us detectives. Says the man who trampled all over the castle's entranceway. But I'll hold my tongue for now. Oh, really? I'll take that. I'll take that out. But even so, this is not what I meant to do. I meant to do this.
Eureka!
No. The rules? Then what is supposed to be deduced here? Do they want me to select something else? I don't know what's supposed to be deduced there. What am I supposed to be deducing? Maybe I should try it somewhere else. So Miss Scone had actually intended to use these lamps in her display. Then why were they stashed inside the castle? Maybe because they're broken? Except there's plenty of other places she could have put them. The best place to hide some salt is in some sugar. Isn't that how it goes? No. Or perhaps the best place to hide a tree is in a forest. That's the same. Anyway, if her intention was to put these salt lamps in her final display, that contradicts a certain piece of evidence in my possession. I'll need to point it out by making a deduction. So, I mean, it's the same thing. There's an issue with the door, but whatever. It's fine. Could this be related to the evidence somehow?
Eureka!
I just selected the door, even though it's the same idea, whatever. Take a look at the list of rules for the contest, detective. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. That means the salt lamps and the luminous cloths would have been against the rules. Is that why they were stashed away inside the castle? I think we need to dig a little further into this with Miss Scone before we can say for sure. You see, remember when we were talking about how sometimes they like handhold you through something, even though you recognize it really early? Like they want you to deduce and say, oh, she's breaking the rules, the confections are fake. But it's like, we found out that all the confections are fake, so of course she's breaking the rules. Like, the fact that I have to deduce, oh, the rock candy specifically goes against the rules. Like, and these are basically the same thing. Scone's confections were all fakes. What was she up to? Scone used decorations that weren't made from confectionaries. She's not a confectioner. Is that what we're supposed to deduce here? Or should we just talk to her? Ooh, look at that! Don't you have the loveliest toys, Greggy Pegleg? But that colour? Oh no, it won't do. Here, let me put a lovely splodge of cream on it. Please stop that. That's her general thing, which is crazy because that's her lamp. Okay. Okay. Do these not connect? These are basically the same thing. Like, I don't... Not only did she use decorations that were against the rules, but she didn't even make any real sweets. Miss Scone made a mockery of the rules. Yeah, guess she's not gonna get crowned world's greatest now. And why is it so warm in here? Do you think it's got something to do with all of this? Miss Scone's so-called creations were all fake plastic models covered in a thick layer of whipped cream. That's a good question. I think we'd better go ask Miss Scone herself. Talk to her now. Disgrace to the baking community. She probably did buy that hat. Mind you. Miss Scone, why is the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees? Because I hate the cold, don't I, dearie? And besides, being chilly's no good for a girl. If I want to keep my fresh-faced complexion, I've got to be careful about these things. She's not a baker, bro. She's not a baker. Like, she is a liar is what she is, bro. Oh, because it's cold. Well, that's cold. Girl. We ladies have to stay young, don't we? How old is she really, though? That's what I'd like to know. Mind your business, Eddie. It's not polite to speculate on a person's age, Eddie. But most of your work is made out of whipped cream. And whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees or it starts to deflate. Is that so, dearie? Well, silly me, eh? I've only gone and made a whoopsie. Wait, she really didn't know that? World-class confectioner, my foot. Not only did she break the rules by using fake candy, she's ignorant of basic facts about her supposed craft. Miss Scone grows more mysterious by the minute. Wait, I'm sorry, and she's ruthless to win the competition? A competition based on... She wants to win the confectionery competition with no knowledge of confections. How does that work, bro? I connect these. Well, I guess it's not obvious. Lack of knowledge. Scone doesn't seem to know basic facts about confectionaries. I think she's here just to... Maybe she's here to eat everybody's stuff. Is that what it is? Miss Scone appears to lack basic knowledge about how confectionery is created. And she says she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Hardly the actions of a world-class confectioner competing for a major prize. Yeah, not how I'd picture a top pro acting. Does she maybe just lack a little confidence, or is she not actually a confectioner at all? Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have her word for it that she went into that room to do some research. Wait, you mean maybe she went in there to commit a murder? There's no way of saying for certain just yet. But she is hiding something, that much I'm certain of. Ooh. Look at us. We went straight through an entire investigation. That's enough investigating for now, don't you think? Yes, we've certainly found plenty of interest. Or rather, plenty of interest. Why'd I say it like that? Something's been bothering me for a while now. Mr. Von Karma would have surely found the murder weapon when he searched this room. So he purposefully hid it. And yet, he didn't arrest Miss Scone. He didn't even seem interested in questioning her. I think our first priority is to find out what he's really up to. Detective Bad, I have a few things I'd like to ask Mr. Von Karma. Me too. Him and Scone. Could you, Batty Bumpkin? Stop staring at me like that! It appears Detective Bad is just as suspicious of Mr. Von Karma and Miss Scone as I am. Miss Scone, would you be so kind as to accompany us? Of course, dear. Where are we off to? To find Mr. Von Karma. I'd be like, no, I'm not coming with you. You're gonna have to do that alone. Go on without me. There he is. Mr. Von Karma, we'd like to speak with you if that's alright. Judging by your faces, I'm guessing you found the murder weapon? We did. It was in Miss Scone's room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroa should no longer be the only person of interest. Ha! Nonsense. It doesn't matter where the weapon was found. Tangaroa is guilty. And as long as this is my case, guilty he shall remain. How can he be so sure of Mr. Tangaroa's guilt? He doesn't have to be. He just needs a guilty verdict. That's what it is. You have an explanation, I assume? Oh my god. We're about to go toe-to-toe with our murderer, bro. For why the murder weapon was in Miss Scone's room? Of course I do. And I'll be delighted to share it with you. Oh my gosh. I'm shaking. Yeah, we're at the showdown of the century. Doesn't he seem like a murderer? I'm crying. One of these days, Thunder, I'm going to play through the first game for you. And I'll act like I don't know anything that happened. I'm so good at that. When we get to this case, you'll be shaking in your boots. Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done. After all, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon? Considerably less so. And that is why there is no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect. Ooh. Gregory got gagged for a moment there. He was like, oh fuck. But he's a gentleman. He kept it together. So it's your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp back to Miss Scone's room? It is indeed. But it is more than an assertion. It is a fact, based on my own investigation. You mean you have proof he did so? I don't need any such thing. What? If you have a rebuttal, I'd be happy to hear it. But I highly doubt you'll be able to fault my logic. One thing I'll tell you about Von Karma, he tends to be pretty airtight. Like, it's very hard to... There's a reason he's been undefeated for 40 years. 25 at the moment. Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done. After all, it had been found near the victim's body. Tangeroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon? Considerably less so. That is why there's no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
Hold it!
So he took one of the salt lamps from Miss Scone's room back to his own. Indeed. He prepared it beforehand, knowing that it would be the perfect weapon with which to kill Frost. But we found the lamp in Miss Scone's room. Surely this cast Miss Scone herself into a suspicious light. Perhaps if you could let me finish. Now, as I was saying. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done.
Hold it!
You're talking about the lamp made of rock salt that was hidden inside the candy castle, correct? Precisely. I was the one who found it. So be grateful. It's thanks to me you even have such a vital piece of evidence. What made you go inside the castle in the first place, if you don't mind me asking? Good point. Maybe he just wanted to see what it was like in there? Fools! You think I went in there on a whim? I went in there because detectives are an incompetent lot, so I investigated it myself. But I had nothing to do with the initial investigation. That's right, Detective Bad wasn't a part of this investigation until very recently. If you want my trust, Detective, you'll have to earn it. And a good first step would be to stop wasting my time now, if you will allow me to continue. After all, it had been found near the victim's body. Tangeroa would have seemed suspicious. But he came under suspicion anyway, due to the body being in his room. So why? Would you like to hear a favorite expression of mine? Even a dog can hold still and stay. Now let me finish. See, this is the kind of guy, that's why I was like, I'm pressing him on everything, but he gives you nothing. You press him and he's like, I don't want to hear it, I don't care. And it's like, okay. He's a cool customer isn't the word I want, but he's a difficult. If only I could say the same to you. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon, considerably less so.
Hold it!
Are his prints on it? Whose prints are on it? Delicious scones only, I would imagine. Found and stained with... Oh, it doesn't say. The lamp isn't working. No, unfortunately it appears to be broken. Would have been nice to see it all lit up just... Would have been nice to see it all lit up just once. Jeez, I'm a mess today. Miss Scone said it's good for relaxation, right? I could use some of that. Perhaps I'll get one for the office. So the lamps both have these hexagonal stands on the bottom, right? Yes, I imagine the indentations in the pillars were made to accommodate them. And boy, do they fit like a glove! Yes, he foolishly believed his own creation to be the perfect hiding place. Ah, there's something in my eye. Whoa. Yeah. Sorry, I had to help myself. I think you mean you couldn't help myself, no? Couldn't help yourself, no? She doesn't seem very sorry to me. In any case, the weapon was taken away while the body remained at the scene of the crime. And that is why there is no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
Hold it!
But if there's no proof, how can you say for certain Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit? Are we gonna get objection? There it is. Is this the best you can do at pressing me? Listen here. The presence of the body in Tangaroa's room is in itself proof enough of his guilt.
Objection!
And you didn't find evidence pointing to any other possible suspects? Perhaps you should take another look. You might... Objection. You really don't give up, do you? There's no need to take another look. Tangaroa is guilty. End of story. If you insist on asserting otherwise, then show me some proof to back up your ridiculous claims. I have to think back over the scene of the crime. If Mr. Tangaroa really isn't guilty, then there must be something that points to something else, to somebody else. Pressing Mr. Von Karma on any of his statements won't have much of an effect, I fear. See? And I knew it, but I was like, I can't see the contradiction. So all I can do is press, but pressing him is pointless because he just shuts you down immediately. He hasn't changed a bit. My only hope is to find a piece of evidence that contradicts his claims. That's what I'm saying, but what... Is it crazy to just assume that this is Delish? It is. Never mind. I'm wrong. It's not her because her fingerprints were everywhere. So, and there's no whoever did this was wearing gloves. Have been found near the victim's body. Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. Let's see. Victim's body was found in Samson Tangaroa's room inside a chocolate treasure chest. The lid was closed until the ship collapsed. Part of the treasure chest that was covered in blood is missing. Every other item in the room is also missing a piece. The cause of death is blunt force trauma. I feel like it's probably this statement, and that is why there is no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect. See, this is on the scene, but I feel like... You know what I mean? I feel like if... Because this points to her as well, right? But I don't know that in-game you're supposed to... This is what I'm worried about. In-game, maybe they're like, we don't think you've made the connection yet that this cloth is the one that's at the murder scene. I present this, or this, or this?
Objection!
It's true that the murder weapon and the blood-stained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime. But something else remained that does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will. The cloth covering the victim's lower half. Is that not one of the same luminous cloths we found in Mrs. Scone's room? We got there, Thunder. What's that, dearie? One of my lovely, colourful cloths? At the scene of the crime, you say? Luminous cloth. Nonsense. I see no light to speak of. I guess he doesn't know how it works. Because he didn't talk to people. Because he doesn't gap. It may look like ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, and the difference soon becomes apparent. Look at his face. I don't think he was expecting that. But the fact that the cloth can be lit up is neither here nor there. We have to show why it's important. One of the rolls of cloth from Miss Scone's room went missing. And if you look closely at the blue cloth in the picture, wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. Von Karma? Humph. The salt lamp and the luminous cloth both belong to Miss Scone. And seeing as though the body was wrapped in said cloth, surely even you have to admit that's suspicious. Mr. Von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Scone as a person of interest. I presented to the cloth. No, I'm crying. I presented the murder scene because I thought it was like more, yeah, the picture of the murder scene. I thought it was more encompassing and more general. Piggy peg leg, how could you? You're accusing me of all people? Not accusing you of anything just yet. But I do think you're hiding something. That's not...
Objection!
Just to clarify, your assertion is that both the murder weapon and the cloth were in Miss Scone's room prior to the murder? Exactly. How do you make that sound loudly? Do you even hear that? I don't think so. It doesn't pick up on, mic. Nope. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Is something funny? Only that you've walked so carelessly into my trap. Neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in her room. So sorry to have to break it to you. What does he mean? Tangaroa spotted them before the contest began and noted that the lamps and cloths contravened the rules. Is that like intervene, except contra, so against? Or against the rules. See, I love English. He subsequently confiscated them and took them to his own room for safekeeping. What? I love how he recovers. Edgeworth doesn't. Edgeworth's just like, what? And he looks silly. But Gregory's like gagged for a moment. And then he's like, wait, I'm okay. I'm okay. Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost as he had secluded himself in his room. Sorry, I am texting hello. Alright, okay. Hello. Yep. Hypernova's hello. I was texting him. And, as you know, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murders, so you see... I have had everything I need to get Tangaroa convicted all along. Well, how does it feel? To have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom. This can't be happening. Wait, all our hard work was for nothing? Miss Scone! Why didn't you tell us your stuff was confiscated by Mr. Tangaroa? Well, dear. Mannequin said if I spilled the beans, I'd end up being the one under suspicion. Mr. Von Karma said that? And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You two accused me yourselves just a second ago. This is pathetic. Curse you, Von Karma. You led us to the murder weapon knowing we'd make certain assumptions as a result. Mannequin's too strong! It's true. I assert... I think, except for this game, of course, I have played every game in Ace Attorney, and I'll tell you this. Von Karma is the hardest prosecutor that you ever have to go up against. And you go up against for exactly one case. And he is, like, bar none the hardest. The only one who's close is, Great Ace Attorney. That's the prosecutor in this. He's really good, too. He's a tough one. But Von Karma is, he can't be compared to anybody. Not even his daughter. One more thing, my pathetic friend. There are 2, and only 2, sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon. 2? Yes, those of Delicious Scone and Samson Tangaroa, my bad. No others were found. Could someone have been wearing gloves? The real murderer must have been wearing gloves. Tangaroa used the lamp he had confiscated to murder Frost. And was foolish enough to hide it in Scone's room without first removing his fingerprints. At this rate, no one else will need to testify. My perfect evidence will do all the talking for me as I secure his guilty verdict.
Objection!
But wait! What about the luminous cloth that was left behind in Mr. Tangaroa's room? Humph! What about it? He probably meant to return it after disposing of the body. I don't have enough to disprove any of what he's saying. No more pitiful objections. Then get out of my sight and close the door behind you. Mr. E! I'm not about to just give up. I see you mean to waste more of my time. Bad, escort them off the premises, now! This investigation is not over yet. Detective Bad. What is the meaning of this? Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of leaving cases half solved. There's still one last thing from the crime scene we haven't identified. That wax seal? You know what, Thunder? Next time I see you, I'll give you some wax seals. I've started doing this thing, especially if you come to Big Dapple or Riptide. I'll give those out because, like, I used to, because I make so many wax seals, obviously I don't send that many letters, so I don't have anything to do to, like, put them on. So what I started doing is when I give out stickers, I put the stickers in envelopes. By the way, do you mind if we stop after this Gregory versus Von Karma duel ends? No, I'm totally okay with that. But yeah, I would close them with the wax seals, but people kept saying, oh, like, I don't want to, this wax seal's so pretty, I don't want to open it. And that was, like, really annoying to me, because I'm like, there's a sticker inside, please open it, please. So now I just stuff one in there, so people will open it. He's right, we still have the evidence of somebody's activities to account for. Whose activities? Gusto? Humph. We can discuss your lingering doubts at our leisure, detective. But whatever they might be, they're no business of the defense's.
Objection!
I beg to differ. There's a piece of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. Which one is that? This one. Okay, okay. And I suspect it might be the same thing that's bothering Detective Bad. What? This is the yet identified something that was left in Mr. Tangaro's room.
Take that!
Oh! Really? Then I guess it's this? Well, that was interesting because I feel like am I wrong? Like, I don't feel like we know what that is. So I'm surprised I'm getting in trouble for this.
Take that!
There are fingerprint marks on one of Mr. Tangaro's creations. Supposing they belong to the murderer. It could certainly explain how their prints didn't end up on the murder weapon. That's what I'm saying. How do you know so much about the crime scene? Because I let them look around.
Objection!
Because I let them look around. You let the defense examine the scene, Bad? Are you out of your mind? I don't remember you telling me not to. Insolent firm. You would do well to remember this then, detective. That the results of your next salary review are up to me. Oof. Wow, he got scone. So he got scone, right? And not bad. Embarrassing. Detective Bad's in trouble now, too. I think Edgeworth, unfortunately, inherited that from Von Karma because the way Detective Gumshoe has literally, like, no salary. The way the man makes pennies on the dollar because he keeps getting salary cuts from Edgeworth. I'm sure glad you're my boss, Mr. Edgeworth. And you do well to remember that the results of your salary review... Wait, first of all, he's an assistant. He makes a salary? And you do well to remember that the results of the salary review are up to your performance here. Wait! I was like, oh, Edgeworth got it from Von Karma. He got it from both of them. They're both ruthless. Bro. Damn. That's crazy. Heh! A mere attorney uncovering such a fact based on a cursory investigation. I'm almost impressed. But it's entirely possible that these fingerprints belong to Tangaroa. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creation.
Objection!
But can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there is still something about Miss Scone that doesn't add up. Is there? Or are you simply not prepared to admit defeat? Oh, stop it, Greggy, stop it! Why are you being so mean to your poor old pal Delicia? I owed up to nibbling poor Sammy people's sweeties. What more do you want? I don't want to have to make you a suspect, that much is certain. But you lied to us. And you're still not telling us everything. Greggy, stop it! Stop bullying me! I'm sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. What kind of professional confectioner doesn't know something as fundamental as that? sorry, all right? I'm sorry. I'm just a silly, muddle-headed girl. What more do you want me to say? I don't think you're muddle-headed at all. I think that you were never a confectioner in the first place. Enough! I'll thank you to keep your baseless accusations to yourself. Evidence is everything in a courtroom, in case you've forgotten. If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand you present something to back it up. Oh, I've got stuff. But this isn't a courtroom, is it? Nevertheless, what proof do I have that Miss Scone doesn't know the first thing about making desserts?
Take that!
Every single one of Miss Scone's creations break the rules of the contest. The offending items, the cloths and the lamps, were duly confiscated, as we have established. And the witness did not go and bring them back to her room herself.
Objection!
But those weren't the only rule-breaking items in her room. What? The entire fantastical world of Miss Scone created, every last bit of it. It's all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room. I biffed it, Edgeworth. I'm so sorry. Gregory Edgeworth, I'm sorry. No real-world title contender would ever stoop so low. Is this true, Bad? Yup. Saw it with my own eyes. Stepped in it with my own shoes. Did we finally convince him? With her lies exposed like this, we surely cannot deny the facts. Miss Scone, your actions place you firmly on our list of suspects. Dear, I'm no killer. Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth? Who are you really? And why were you tampering with your rival's work? All right. The truth is, I'm not the adorable little cook you see before you. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it. A pharmacist? I can't blame him for being so surprised. This couldn't be further from what we'd imagined. So what's somebody in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one? Will they let me off after this? Hopefully I'm hoping after Delicious Scone, finishes up, fessing up. Hey, Henlo's on. We'll be done here. Well, I just loved eating sweeties, if you must know. And semi-poopies sweeties are the best, or so they say. I just had to enter. I didn't mean to end up making it all the way to the final. Even Mr. Von Karma is lost for words. That's it? That's the only reason you're here? Yes, dearie, and it was worth it. Samson Silly Pants' sweets are the tastiest treats I ever did eat. And the finger marks? Were you the one wearing the gloves? No, it wasn't me, dear. I don't even wear gloves, as you can see. That's pretty terrible that you don't wear gloves. But actually, no, that's not crazy. That's pretty normal. Remember, Miss Scone's fingerprints were found elsewhere on Mr. Tanjiro's other creations. I'd say that points to her not having worn any gloves. Exactly, Lambkin. Craigie Peglegs got the right end of the stick. I'm an innocent woman.
Objection!
Is your head filled with cream too? So sorry, Mannikins. Her head may not be filled with cream, but she's certainly no master of subterfuge. Miss Scone, were Mr. Tangaroa's work the only ones you sampled? No, dear, I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to Chillywinks. Frost, you're calling him Chillywinks? Artie Frost. I tiptoed over to Chillywinks' room for a little taste too. You were in the victim's room too? Yes, dear. Nobody was in there, you see. Quite possibly because the occupant was already dead. But I could only stomach one little bite. I never tasted anything so salted in my life. So I had myself one of the tasty star-shaped bits off the side to cleanse my palate. You have quite the sweet tooth, don't you, Miss Scone? Indeed. What did she sample?
That's everything, I promise. Frankie Peggles, Mannequins, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess of things.
As long as what you've told us is the truth, that's all that matters in the end. Do not think for a second that means I myself believe you. I'm going to investigate the victims from now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through. Mr. Von Karma, please let us accompany you. I think it's only fair that we be allowed to investigate the veracity of our conclusions. Humph. Accompany me if you like, but don't think for a second you'll be permitted to conduct your own investigation. We'd like to accompany you all the same. Do I get the... Okay. There we go. Well, we made it. Wait. I don't like a cliffhanger. I feel like we have to see what it is, and then I'll quit out. What is the meaning of this? Oh! When we got to Frost's room, we saw nada. It was all gone. The whole enchilada. Was this the work of the culprit? A dead body hidden inside a chocolate chest. A murder moved mysteriously to another room. This case was a real peach, and it was going to take some serious sleuthing to get to the bottom of it all. I think that's the... We got it, folks! To be continued, I think. Right? Right? Yeah! This time I'll make sure I save. All right. Yeah, right? They're edging us a little bit there. They went, uh. I'm like, come on, give it to me. We got it. Well, that's going to be it for stream. 2 hours and 18 minutes. At least it's not like over 3 hours like some of them have been in the past. So yeah, solid showing. I will upload the re-recorded version of the beginning of case 3 for anybody who cares onto YouTube. I think the YouTube is actually linked in my it's like linked on my page or whatever, like at the bottom or whatever. So you can click that, watch the VODs if you please to, and thank you everybody for joining me. And of course thank you Thunder and Martin and like everybody who was sweet enough to stop by. So I am going to, let me open up Stream Manager. Let me see if there's somebody I can raid. Otherwise, I'll just end the stream probably, but you know, let me see. I will, oh, dude. Do I raid dude or Kiver? I will raid dude. So, yeah, if you... Oh, Mario Kart Monday. I was going to say, if you want some actual Splatoon from a Splatoon player, then watch Dude, but he's playing Mario Kart, so womp. Sorry. Let me start that raid. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and have that raid go through. Let's see. Here we go. Thank you, Thunder.